The 6 pillars of faith. Iman. The meaning of belief in Allah. This means firm belief that Allah exists, resolutely affirming His lordship, godship, and names and attributes. We will now discuss these 4 issues at length as follows. 1. Belief in the existence of Allah. The innate disposition to believe in Allah. Fitrah. Affirming the existence of Allah is something that is innate in human beings and does not require anything to prove it. Indeed, it is for this reason that most people acknowledge God's existence despite their different religious beliefs. We know in our heart of hearts that Allah exists because we always seek His assistance and support in times of hardship, or when a calamity strikes, because of the innate inclination to believe in Him and worship Him. Fitrah, which He has instilled into us, even though some people attempt to obliterate it or ignore it. The numerous incidents we have heard or seen about people having their prayers answered, their wishes granted, and their distress relieved proves beyond any shadow of doubt that Allah does exist. Proofs for Allah's existence are clear and countless. Everybody inherently acknowledges the laws of causality, that is, everything has a determinate cause. The numerous creatures we see around us must have a causative agent, that is undoubtedly Allah, for it is impossible for anything to be created without a creator, just as it is impossible for it to create itself, as the verse states, or were they created out of nothing, or are they the creators? Surat At-Tur 52:35. This verse simply means that people were not created without a creator, nor could they have created themselves, which obviously means that it was Allah who created them. The superbly flawless plan in the universe, including its most subtle elements, its heaven, earth, constellations and trees, among numerous other great marvels and impressive wonders, prove without a doubt that it has one creator, who is Allah, as the verse states. This is the handiwork of Allah, who has perfected all things. Surat An-Naml 27:88. All the stars and planets, for instance, consistently orbit around their respective common center of mass. As the Quran states, the sun cannot overtake the moon, nor can the night outrun the day. Each floats in its own orbit. Surat Yasin 36:40. Belief in Allah's Lordship. The meaning of belief in Allah's Lordship. This means to firmly believe that Allah is the Lord, the Creator, the Sustainer, and the Provider of everything. That He is the one who gives life and causes death. That He is the only one who can do harm and good. That all power of decision rests with Him. That in His hand all is good. That He has power over everything. And that He has no partner whatsoever in doing all this. Belief in Allah's Lordship therefore requires a Muslim to believe that Allah is the only creator of everything in the universe. As the Quran states, Allah is the creator of everything. Surat Az-Zumar 39:62. Man's creativity merely involves such processes as transforming something from one state into another, assembling and building. It does not involve originating creation, creating something out of nothing, or bringing it to life after death. He is the only one who provides sustenance to His creation, and no one else can do so. As the Quran states, there is no creature on the earth which is not dependent upon Allah for its provision. Surat Hud 11:6. He is the master and owner of everything. The kingdom of the heavens and the earth and everything in them belongs to Allah. Surat Al-Ma'idah 5:120. He is the sole ruler who regulates all affairs of the universe. He directs the whole affair from heaven to earth. Surat As-Sajdah 32:5. Man's management of his worldly affairs is rather limited and depends on whatever material is available to him at his disposal. Besides, in so doing, he can either meet with success or experience failure. However, Allah's regulation of the affairs of the universe is comprehensive and is bound to be effectual. for there is nothing that would otherwise thwart it in any way. As the Quran states, both creation and command belong to Him. Blessed be Allah, the Lord of all the worlds. Surat Al-A'raf 7:54. The Arab polytheists at the time of the Prophet believed in Allah's lordship. The Arab polytheists at the time of the Prophet affirmed Allah's lordship. They believed that He is the creator, the master, and disposer of all affairs, but such affirmation alone was not sufficient for them to be admitted into the fold of Islam. As the Quran states, if you asked them, who created the heavens and the earth, they would say, Allah. Say, praise be to Allah, but most of them do not know. Surat Luqman 31:25. Indeed, affirmation that Allah is the Lord of all the worlds, that He is the Master and Sustainer, entails that all acts of worship must be directed to Him alone, without taking any partners whatsoever with Him in worship. It would be ludicrous to affirm that Allah is the creator of everything, the disposal of all affairs, and the one who gives life and causes death, and then we direct an act of worship to other than Him. Indeed, doing so is a tremendous wrong, and the worst of all sins. As the Quran states, when Luqman said to his son, counseling him, "My son, do not associate anything with Allah." Associating others with Him is a terrible wrong. Surat Luqman 31:13. When the Prophet was asked about the greatest sin in the sight of Allah, he replied, to set up a rival to Allah in worship, though He alone created you. Sahih al-Bukhari 4207. Sahih al-Bukhari 86. Belief in Allah's lordship sets the heart at rest. When one firmly acknowledges that none of Allah's creation can challenge His decree, being the Creator and King of all mankind, who decrees whatever He deems wise for them, who is their only Creator, Sustainer, and Disposer of all affairs, whom nothing as small as an atom moves or settles except with His decree, one's heart becomes attached to Almighty Allah, asking none but Him, relying on Him in all worldly matters, and dealing with all the ups and downs of life calmly and confidently, with determination and perseverance. For once we have done what we can possibly do to achieve a worldly goal and have prayed to Allah for assistance, we have actually done our duty. In this way, we become contented, as we do not covet what others may have, fully aware that all power of decision rests with Allah, who creates whatever He wills and chooses for mankind whatever is best for them. 3. The belief that only Allah is worthy of worship. What does this mean? This means firm belief that Allah is the only true God who deserves to be worshipped. This entails that all the apparent and hidden acts of worship, such as invocation, fear, reliance, the prayer, the obligatory charity, zakat, fasting and seeking assistance, must be directed to Him alone. As the Quran states, "Your God is one God. There is no God but Him, the most beneficent, the most merciful." Surat Al-Baqarah 2:163. This verse makes it abundantly clear that Allah is only one God, which means that He alone deserves to be worshipped, and that no one else must be worshipped besides or instead of Him. Importance of the belief that Allah is the only God worthy of worship. The importance of the belief that Allah is the only God who deserves to be worshipped is apparent in a number of aspects. 1. Worshipping Allah is the ultimate purpose of human and jinn existence. As the Quran states, "I have only created the jinn and man to worship me." Surat Ad-Dariyat 51:56. 2. Worshipping Allah is also the reason behind Allah's sending messengers and revealing divine books to affirm that Allah is the only God worthy of worship, and to reject false deities worshipped besides or along with Him. As the Quran states, "We sent a messenger among every people, saying, Worship Allah and keep clear of all false gods." Surat An-Nahl 16:36. 3. Worshipping Allah is the first duty of man towards his Creator. Giving instructions and orders to Mu'adh ibn Jabal upon sending him to Yemen, the Prophet said to him, "You are going to a people from among the people of the book. Let the first thing you call them to be to testify that there is no God worthy of worship except Allah." Sahih al-Bukhari, 1389. Sahih Muslim, 19. That is, let them direct all acts of worship to Him alone. 4. The belief that Allah is the only God worthy of worship is the actual realization of the meaning of the statement, La ilaha illallah. The Arabic word ilah, generally translated God, refers to any being that is worshipped. Therefore, there is no God who truly deserves to be worshipped except Allah, and thus no act of worship must be dedicated except to Him alone. 5. The belief that Allah is the only God worthy of worship is the logical outcome of the belief that He is the Creator, the Master, and the disposer of all affairs.